a lot of other arguments you can make over the last 50, 60 years about equality of this and that, but like we're living in the now here.
Yep.
They're doing they're doing a great thing now. They've created this awesome thing. Everyone involved is going like crazy over the thing. The women are gushing over the fact they're playing at Augusta in a competitive round. It's on TV.
Just let it be cool
It's
and
just
like
awesome.
just live in the moment and
Right.
let it be awesome. The picture of them fist pumping on
On
Amen
12?
Court,
Oh.
and that could legitimately be in the clubhouse of every single golf club in America.
That's one of the coolest pics I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That was so good.
What's like the award you get for like best picture of the year?
That's an award?
Was it a Pulitzer?
Like a Time
Pulitzer.
magazine? Oh.
Pulitzer Prize.
I think it's a
Like,
Pulitzer.
that could be up for the Pulitzer for the year.
Yeah, because you get a Pulitzer in a lot of different things.
In
But I think
categories, yeah.
photography is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like the sports photography Pulitzer Prize of the year, something
Yes.
like that.
Like that could be up there. I'm
That
not
could
even
be up
kidding.
there. No,
You
I
know what?
agree.
If there's gambling on that, throw that in the fucking mix and put Frankie
Gambling on the Pulitzer.
Yeah,
I like it.
That picture moved you so much.
Nice
you're
way to
in on
start
the
things
you're in
out.
on
Even
Pulitzer.
I like remember looking at it in the car, and I like showed Dave. I was like, "Look at this fucking."
And second
yeah, the
hole
Pulitzer Prize for
coming up.
photography.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
That's our nomination. The foreplay nomination. It's early. It's April 9th. The foreplay nomination for Pulitzer photo of the
Now,
year.
it may
For all we
change-
know, it could be Pulitzer season right now. They could be handing out awards tomorrow.
Yeah, let's not act like we know when Pulitzer season is. Like, there's no way it's December 31st. Like, we're acting like it's just like the end of the calendar year. But my choice could very well end on Sunday. A change on Sunday.
Easily.
Yeah.
You might see 100 pictures you like better this weekend. I'm not saying.
Oh,
you're
I'm
going
just
to.
saying, like Tiger
Yeah.
doing anything on Sunday, maybe. Like, I'm so ready to see Tiger at Augusta. I mean, I'm jacked up about that picture, and I think I may print it out and like put it somewhere because I think it's fucking awesome and symbolizes everything that's good about like that place in golf and like where it's going right now.
Yep.
But fucking Tiger Woods, man, Tiger just like looks good in some of the pictures we're seeing him right now in Augusta. He looks like he looks like he like shaved off 10 years of his life. You know how like when you get like LASIK eye surgery, they peel back like a piece of your like eye.
Yeah.
I think he did that with his skin, just stepping into Augusta.
I don't know what happens. You're right. He loses 10 to 15 years when he arrives at
His
Augusta.
skin looks smooth. He's not sweating that much.
I
It's
don't know how they
crazy.
do that. I mean, I understand they make the grass a certain green. The trees are like, they just look more majestic than other trees. The water looks like more perfect than other water.
The water
And
looks incredible.
Tiger Woods looks 15 years younger. When
His
he's at Augusta.
smile is more like genuine and soft. He's not like sometimes you see him out there. It looks like he's struggling.
Yeah, look at this picture with him and Freddie. Fist bumping.
I
That might
mean,
be a
Look
better
how good
picture.
he looks.
He just looks great.
Why does he look so much younger?
His
I mean, he's
biceps are
fucking
huge.
jacked.
Yeah,
he
he
is
does.
jacked. So look, we got a lot of Tiger stuff to get into. He did. I'll just start with this: that he had a quote from their little golf TV thing they do now, where he basically kind of controls all of his own media, which is hilarious and interesting in and of itself. But he had a quote where they asked him what the Masters means to him, and he said, "It's the best thing that we have in our sport."
What a succinct way to put it.
That's just so good. Like, you could talk up everything else, and there are a lot of great things in golf, and we get excited for a lot of different events and a lot of different things, but it's the best thing that we have in our
It's the
sport.
most true thing ever said about sports.
Ever.
Nothing even comes close to this.
No. It's just, that's just, you
We
can't-
can yeah, like you're saying, like we can try and make it
Sitting
like that, but
at
nothing
2
comes
over for the round.
close.
nothing. And it's just so succinct. Like you said, it's the best thing that we have in our sport.
Okay,
So
it's
Tiger,
time
he
to send
arrived
this
on
ball on
property
its
as well.
way.
On Sunday, he arrived early. Nick Faldo tweeted out a picture and said Tiger's the last one on the golf course on Sunday night with, like, the sun setting, that vista at Augusta. I think he was on, like, the 9th green, and it was basically just him at Augusta, the only person there. Patrons aren't even allowed yet on Sunday.
Pulitzer. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Frankie's already moved on.
I mean,
He's
that
moved
picture was.
on.
I forgot about it already. That picture is so. That picture got me going.
I got tears in my eyes when I looked at that picture.
Dude, the way this sun, and that came from an iPhone, like the way that the sun was coming into the phone
I
like
think we're
that.
getting wet here.
He was just out there, just chipping or putting, whatever the hell he was doing. He was floating. That's what he was doing. He was floating on the green.
Trent's looking at it right now. I don't. Sir Nick capturing that too is like. I love the thought of like Sir Nick walking kind of between like the 9th and 18th greens at Augusta National, and like kind of his big goofy self walking around and like looking over to his left and being like, "Oh, there's Tiger."
Yeah,
Like,
this would be good for Twitter,
Right?
and he like gets it out and tweets it out. All-time photo, got the juices going, and then a couple other pics arrived that day. I think Augusta they even wrote a little article about Tiger being at Augusta on Sunday. I don't remember him typically arriving that early. So they wrote a little article, and in that they described how Tiger, like, he played the front nine, they said, but rather than walk to the first tee and hit driver, he walked to the first tee with only a wedge, juggling his golf ball in the air and just kind of shooting the shit. He went over to I can't remember who he ran into, but he dapped up a guy and like signed a couple things for another guy in the field, and then he walked to the green and just did a bunch of chipping, and he walked the front nine and just kind of chipped around on each green.
6 over
I
for
saw
the
one
round.
pic, a classic Augusta pick from like face on of Tiger in a bunker, him hitting a bunker shot with
we're
his
gonna
hands,
go
like,
ahead and
splashing up in the
just
air. And I
forget
was just
about
like,
that last
we're here.
hole.
It's Masters week.
Did you see his bag?
Clear our heads,
Oh.
breathe,
His
and
bag is
He's got a
start
new
fresh
bag.
on
I
this
got it
hole.
pulled up here. Did you see it?
I saw it.
It's got every year that he won stamped on the bottom.
Perfectly stitched on the bottom of his unreal monster bag.
What a flex that is
Oh.
from him. New bag this week, he says. Fucking A.
It's just so exciting. How about like the fact that we're gonna get to watch this guy play healthy, coming off a win that wasn't that long ago. I know it feels like a long time because he hasn't played that well this year. He also hasn't had that many bad finishes this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't that far off from winning the WGC match play a couple weeks ago when Kids ended up winning. He is like, I think he's number 12 ranked player in the world. Our guy Brandel Chambly, I heard him on Golf Channel the last couple days. He said, I think when Sergio won at the Masters, Sergio was the 12th ranked player in the world a couple years ago, and then somebody else recently was number 12 ranked player in the world when they won. Somebody else in the last 5 or 6 years. Excuse me. So he's like right in that sweet spot. Very, very realistic that he could win.
I don't know if this
he will
has
be
enough.
rocking the mock turtlenecks all week. The mock neck thing shirts that he's got. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
How do we feel about those things?
I don't love him.
I
If
don't
we're being
either.
upfront about it.
Just give me a collar shirt, Tiger.
Yeah.
I don't love
Keep
him.
it simple.
I don't love him, but I kind of like the way he looks in him.
He looks great. It's
Yeah.
true. Somebody sent in from the gallery basically being like, look, we get that Tiger rocks
And that'll
them.
keep you
Tiger
at
looks
6
good and
over for the
everything on golf
round.
course, but like, do they sell any of these things when he wears them? I feel like they'd be way better served to just do like
Okay, here we
collar golf
go.
shirts if you were Nike. No,
Yeah, I feel like I've never seen. You just don't see people rocking those. You're right. He's the only person that looks good in them.
I mean, if you roll up to the tee, you've got a red Tiger mock neck Nike shirt on.
It's like, why are you guys looking at me?
You better be. You either need to be like the funniest person I've ever met in my
Yes.
entire life, and just like, no, I'm the biggest Tiger guy in the world, or you need to be shooting 65 out there. 'Cause I don't know.
I feel like they haven't sold one of those.
I've never
Not a
s-
single one.
I just started imagining that. I mean, if I pulled up to the range and I saw a couple guys in their Tiger mock necks on the range, just fucking hacking it up left and right, hitting huge slices over the range net.
You can't do it. But
You
dude, I'm
can't
looking
do
at this picture. He looks so good in them. It's so like I cannot wait. I think he looks better in that red one than he does like ever. Like there's the picture of him celebrating in it. He fills that shirt out so well.
Look, that red one is off the charts. For
That's
Tiger.
like
How are
that's
you gonna
him
show
at
that one
peak-
to us? Like, we're
that's
not gonna
him
be
at
like, oh, we
peak
don't like that
Tiger.
one.
Like
I
him
don't know if
right
this has
there,
enough.
fucking fist pumping in this picture we're looking in his mock shirt.
Yes, I agree. That's unreal. Now imagine Joe Schmo in the driving range in that
No.
same exact getup. Right?
Unbelievable.
Joe Schmo can get away with a red polo. Can't get away with a red mock neck.
You have to have Tiger's body and you have to have Tiger's fucking skill to be able to wear that thing.
Right, and there's really only
There's
one person
His name's Tiger Woods.
in the history of the world that has that. So it's going to be really, really cool. Will Gray of Golf Channel tweeted out, it appears Tiger is already in game mode. JT, after a 9-hole session with Tiger and Freddie, said, quote, Tiger probably isn't as, I'm not trying to be mean, but isn't as helpful as I would say Freddie. At this point, he just doesn't quite give as much information.
Good.
Keeping those cards tight to the chest.
Good.
Like that.
Love everything about that. It is Masters Week. It's Tiger Woods.
I love this quote from Nike where they're asked if any other Nike athletes will rock. He said, everything we do is for Tiger. It's just for him.
They said that?
Yep.
Oh, it's magnificent. So
I mean, that actually makes me think that he just likes like the feel of them and he just wants to wear them. Like you're saying, like
Yeah,
they would obviously they would
It's
just.
definitely his call.
Oh yeah, and
Right.
it has nothing to do with sales. Has nothing to do with like collared shirts. He's just like
There
I
are
fucking
probably
love
like,
the way
we
I look at
haven't
these things.
sold a single one of
These
these.
things are comfortable as shit.
But Tiger likes the way they feel, so he wears them.
Tiger, our current sales on those are 0. Like, yeah, I know. I look awesome.
I look awesome. He's going. Where's he going? Navy. He's going Navy.
Oh,
light
it's
gray.
scripting season.
Frankie's doing scripting season. I bet he's wearing red on Sunday.
That's a big thing. We're making fun of it now. What you're doing.
I was gonna do it.
You know, we're literally making fun of you.
Do you want to still do it?
I was gonna do it.
You were gonna list the colors of his shirt.
No,
And at the end, I was gonna say it, and we all know he's wearing Sunday.
do it.
Do it.
I know you want to do it.
It's 2:32 in the morning. Do it.
He's wearing navy.
Okay.
All right.
He's going with a light gray on Friday.
That's nice.
Okay.
Looks like he's going with a little hot pink. No, light pink on Saturday.
Okay.
You know what he's wearing Sunday?
What?
Tell me.
He's wearing blood red.
That's
Come
it.
on. Blood
Yeah.
red?
Wow.
Sitting
He's
at
out for blood, baby.
8 over
Wow.
the round.
Now, the only reason I brought that up was not to get mocked by you two fucking
Oh,
assholes.
mock. Nice. It's a mock.
All
now.
right.
Bang!
Let's let her rip.
Let's go. Cali
Dap
Daps,
it up.
baby.
Cali
Cali
Dap it in the
Dap
Know what I'm
studio.
saying?
Yeah,
It all comes
Frank.
full circle,
Yeah,
baby. What is that, 5 weeks in a row?
Frankie is so on fire with his puns that
I
he
didn't even
did
try.
not plan that
No
well.
way.
Not at all.
You know, I was going to say, when he mocks this shit up, I think the pink may be the best look of the fucking weekend.
Pink is good. He is a mock guy. He's a mock neck guy. But nobody else is. That's kind of the problem and what's weird to me. But anyways,
Masters.
Tiger, Masters.
And did you hit that hard enough?
He's going to be playing. We're going to watch him play a competitive round at Augusta on Thursday. It's going to be really, really cool. Get excited. Warm weather season is here, and luckily, Tommy John, the most comfortable underwear on the planet, the only underwear in our drawers at this point. We sort of had to, we've just evolved.
I'll tell you what, everybody ends up here sometimes. Take
like,
this
all right, now we're on
as a
Cast Tommy
learning
John.
opportunity.
Now we're at the point where the only thing that we wear is Tommy John.
Yeah, and I'm talking about Tommy John even when it's not on the podcast and during like reads. I actually advocated for Tommy John during my Vegas trip when one of our coworkers, Paul Gilzinski, how do you say his last name? Gilzinski? What a nightmare that last name is.
Wow, you really grinded through
The
that.
only thing bigger nightmare than that is the way it's spelled.
Yeah, and the only thing a bigger nightmare than that is the way he wears his loose-fitting underwear around like hotel rooms, and it makes him look like an alien. And I literally said, we got to get this guy some Tommy Johns. They support the brand. They support the pod. Is this guy not walking around in Tommy Johns? Look at him. Look like a human being once in your life.
How is anybody not like walking around in Tommy
crazy.
Johns? What is the point? I don't.
Dude, and they're so easy to pack too because they're nice, thin, that quality. When I get now I drop my clothes off at a wash and fold. It's like one of the biggest like luxuries I've ever had to do in my entire life. It's fun.
Best.
For some reason, the guy can fold 10,000 pounds of laundry into a little box. I don't know how he does it. It's like a nice. But the way he folds the Tommy Johns, I take them and I put them right in my fucking suitcase, and it fits in the smallest little container. It's crazy. So
I bet I haven't played a round of golf without a pair of Tommy John on in over a year.
God, it's so perfect.
Both Tommy John men's and women's underwear sport a no wedgie guarantee. That's nice. Comfortable stay-put waistbands and a range
over
of
for the
fabrics that are
round.
luxuriously soft and designed to move with you. That's just incredibly true. Tommy John is so sure you're going to love the fit
Okay,
and
it's time
feel
to
that
send
it's all
this
backed
ball
by
on
their
its
best
way.
pair you'll ever wear, or it's free guarantee. That means you don't love your first pair. You'll get a full refund at Tommy John. No adjustment needed. Just hurry to TommyJohn.com/4 right now. That's TommyJohn.com/4. You're going to get 20% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/4. 20% off. That's TommyJohn.com/4. Let's go through kind of some of the rest of the field. There's so many names. I was going through all this. People keep asking me. We're in Minneapolis all week. Every person I saw, who do you like this week? It's tough. It's really, really difficult. Rory is the odds-on favorite, as he should be. He's been playing unbelievable golf. He should have won the Masters a couple times already. It's the only major championship he doesn't have. If he does win, he would become just the 6th player of all time to win the career Grand Slam.
Wow.
We were going through it. I believe it's Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, our good close personal friend, Mr. Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods. Imagine being in that group.
Hell of a group.
That's a group. That's a serious group.
You know you did something good when you're in that group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He won the Players' Championship about a month ago, played lights out, if you recall. Actually, I don't know if he played lights out. He really didn't feel like he even had his A game, and he won the biggest tournament of the year thus far.
Okay, so
His
that's going to
last,
keep you
starts
at
here-
9
here's
over
his-
for the
Here's
round.
his finishes. Tied for 4th, tied for 5th, tied for 4th,
Coming
second,
off a
tied for
par
6th,
on the last
first,
one.
tied
Let's see
for
what
9th.
happens here.
That's how
What a
well he's
run.
playing. His last 5 Masters tournaments, tied for 8th, 4th, tied for 10th, tied for 7th, tied for 5th.
Fuck.
A guy playing that well with that good of a track record at Augusta National, who most people believe's A game is better than anybody else's A game on planet Earth, coming off a massive win at the Players' Championship, coming off playing really well at in Austin and just losing to Tiger Woods in a classic battle. He's probably the greatest golfer of all time. Definitely is the greatest golfer of all time. It's hard
Heading
not to have
towards the
favorite.
water.
So Rory, it's going to be fun to watch him. It's almost a lock, I would say, that Rory is in one of the final 3 groups, I would say.
I think that's a lock.
I think it's a lock. There's almost no imaginable scenario.
He's just playing too well to like fall off that far, right? Like he's always going to be in it when he's like right now he's just on fire. He's a man on fire. He's not like nothing about his game
Solid
right now will
swing.
allow him to really blow up.
And he's the best driver of the golf ball
Yeah.
on the planet, and he loves the high draw. That's the golf shot that you have to be able to hit at Augusta National. Be able to get to every par 5. There's 4 of them. He'll be able to get to every par 5 in 2. So it's almost like when you start doing the math, it's almost unimaginable that he's not somewhere between like 8 and 12 under going into Sunday, which like,
11 over
at
for
that
the
point
round.
he's gonna be in the final 3 groups. So again, it's almost I can't even fathom a scenario where he's
And
not in
we
the
have
final
the 9th
3
hole
groups
coming
at
up.
least. So Rory, odds-on favorite as he should be. Go through a couple of these other names. We were talking in the Uber ride back from the airport because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:36 in the morning.
236.
Yeah, 2:36. Brooks Koepka. Nobody's even mentioned Brooks Koepka's name. Guy's won, I think, 3 of the last 6 major championships.
Yeah,
25 to 1 odds. That's pretty fucking good odds. Like
25 to 1.
25 to 1.
That's insane.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
how's
Like
that
we
possible?
might have to put some money on that.
Yeah, I think we should.
I forget
That's
that
crazy.
I forget that Brooks Koepka's a person. Like people all week, like when you're just thinking of something off the top of your head, someone comes up to me at Cowboy Jacks, like when we're doing radio, they're like, "Yo, Frankie, who's your favorite guy?" And like I was thinking of some guys, like I'm rattling off some names, and like Brooks Koepka never once pops in my head. Guy's won 3 out of the last 6 majors.
It really makes no sense, but at the same time, it's
I compared him to. I mean, everyone probably does it now because he used to be boring, but now he has a camp.
He's a lightning rod.
But when he was boring, it's like when someone asks you
He
about
does
like
have
your
a camp.
favorite baseball players, you're like, oh, well, like you think of all the people that just pop into your head.
Okay,
It's
11
like,
over par for you
Aaron
today.
Judge, Mookie Betts,
Well,
like
thanks
JD
very much for the
Martinez,
round
like all
today.
these
I had
guys
a
that
good
just
time
like,
out there.
always there.
Hope
and then
you
like,
did too.
oh yeah, what about
See
Mike
you next
Trout?
time.
Like that's exactly who Brooks Koepka is. Like you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about the guy who's like the best in the world.
Yeah.
2 of the last 3 major championships that have been played have been won by Brooks Koepka, and 3 of the last 6 that he's played in, because he missed the Masters last year, if you remember, with the wrist injury, he's won. And people, again, don't even mention him, which it's like that's kind of his thing, that he like likes to get really upset, and he also ended up creating a whole camp around the fact that he doesn't
Rory's
get
in the camp.
doesn't get Rory's
Oh, yeah.
actually in his camp. I forgot about that. So Brooks Koepka's up there. Dustin Johnson feels like DJ, if you remember 2 years ago. DJ had won, I believe, 3 starts in a row and was considered a lock to win the Masters before the stairs
Hello
incident.
there, and welcome to the golf
Remember
club.
the stairs incident?
My name's
How crazy
John,
that was?
and I am
Slippery
interested
socks.
in what this course has in
Yeah,
store for us.
We never totally got an answer.
All the
No.
DMs we got, 8,000 different theories about what happened.
Every person on planet Earth that was involved in Dustin Johnson's fall, according to our DMs.
We got the same story that all of you out there, I'm sure you've heard.
Yep.
About what happened with Dustin Johnson and the stairs.
You can't hit all the
and involving
fairways.
Maybe another golfer and maybe some females. And you could then substitute in every golfer in the world
Right.
for like the other person that was involved.
Yeah.
And people said that like, oh, I know it was this. I have really good sources that it was this guy who did this and that and this. And
In
that.
reality, no one knows what the hell happened.
At the end of the day, like, I'm pretty sure he just like fell down the stairs. and
Yeah,
hurt
at this
his
point,
back.
I've now come around to it where he was just telling the truth, and there was nothing crazy going on. He just happened to fall, and you give the reason, and people are like, that's not real.
It was like rainy that Wednesday. Remember that?
Yeah.
It got rained out. It was our first time in Augusta. It
Yep.
got rained out. And then the most convincing thing that I saw was some stoolie sent us like, hey, my buddy was renting the house that Dustin Johnson stayed at this past weekend. Here are the stairs. And it was like a 2 or 3 stair spot in the middle of the house where it was like concrete floors or something, like kind of in like a little awning or something like that. And it was like, it was just really like, there was a lot of moisture, and then he just kind of slipped and like messed up his back.
You could be looking down at your phone, like if there's just steps
Easily.
in the middle of the fucking room, you could just easily slip.
How infuriating does that have to be if you're Dustin Johnson and you actually did just trip?
Well, also
And
he
it
was
just
going
runs
through a lot of
logical-
shit.
That's just, you just got to be like, no, I just tripped and fell. Like, you guys are looking too much into it. and you just have no
Starting
control of
off
his
Slip on the
at
fucking stairs.
2
What do you want
over
me to tell you?
par.
And then he wasn't the same after that. Remember that? He withdrew
Yeah.
from the Masters.
Yep.
And then
Coming
he wasn't
off
the same for like the
the
rest of the year.
double
He just wasn't as
bogey on
dominant.
that last hole.
But he ended up he
go
was,
ahead and
he was
block
like
that
a lock
out.
that year to win.
Start
So it's
fresh.
kind of just DJ's obviously a big name. He won. What did he win earlier this year? He won. Oh, he won in Mexico. Is that right? WGC Mexico, where he went up against Rory down the stretch. And so, I mean, it's not like he's far off at all in terms of being right there, being in the mix, having as good a chance as anybody else to win the Masters.
What do we think about Kevin Kisner? I know we had him on the show, and he said he wasn't going to win the tournament, but I feel something deep in my plums that he might have a chance.
You think so?
Yeah.
Look, he does draw the ball.
Yep.
Which you have to be able to draw the ball at Augusta National if you're a righty in order to play well there, because there's just so many goddamn holes where you have to hit a right to left shot. So that's big. He doesn't have the length, but hopefully if the place plays like decently firm, it helps him. Kiz is a phenomenal putter. Phenomenal putter. He's one of the best putters on planet Earth.
Okay,
that always
so
helps him.
it'll keep you at
So
2
he
over
needs
for the
it,
round.
in my opinion. He needs it to play difficult. We were looking. I was rewatching the Spieth 2016 Masters, which is the one where he collapsed, and the winning score there was, I think Danny Will was like 5 under or something. Kiz can win a Masters like that. Same with ZJ.
Yep.
When your boy
That's
ZJ
what I was
won.
thinking.
Yeah. ZJ was like one of the only
Looks
players
like you
on
may
the
be
par
getting wet here.
that whole week when we laid up on all the par fives and all that. So I think Kiz needs something like that. Last year when it was, when you had Patrick Reed, Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy out there all ripping it and shooting like 15 under.
Lights out, yeah.
I don't know that Kiz can post 15 under at Augusta.
No.
I think he knows that. But it's hard him coming off that good of a performance at Austin and winning and having that good of a performance back-to-back years, and the fact that he's played so consistently throughout the year, like doesn't miss cuts, kind of always in the mix. And if you just stay in the mix at a major championship, you never know because of the pressure, back nine at Augusta, all that stuff. So Kiz, I'm definitely not ruling him out. I don't think he's bad value. He always is. I think he's pretty much always good value.
Yeah,
because
I would agree with that.
Right,
Great
because like
contact.
nobody rates him very highly.
He's sitting at 60 to 1 right now.
Is that what he is?
Yes.
60 to 1?
Yep.
See, I love him at 60 to 1.
Me too.
There's no doubt about that.
Me too.
I'm sort of obsessed with that with our guy Kiz. So I do. I like Kiz. Go through a couple other names. I mean, Justin Thomas. People haven't really, for whatever reason, I feel like I haven't heard JT named very often. It feels like not that long ago that he had won, 5 times? Was that 2 years ago? A year and a half ago? Mm-hmm. He won 5 times in the PGA Tour and then won a couple times to begin the ring-around season. Won the major championship there at Quail Hollow, won the PGA, and it felt like nobody in the world could possibly be better than Justin Thomas. That doesn't feel like that long ago. You got to think he's going to really have some good chances at Augusta over the course of his career. I don't know why this wouldn't be one of those years. Justin Rose. You remember a couple months ago on this very podcast, I mentioned that Justin Rose.
Was it that you made a prediction of some sort?
I said that he was my pick to win the Masters. I stand by that. I still feel just as confident as I did then. You don't get great odds with Justin Rose because he's literally the #1 ranked player in the world. But
People forget that.
And he looks like one of those cats. He looks like a cat from a cartoon.
He does look like a cat. That's a pretty hard-hitting analysis, but
There's
he does look like a cat.
an analyst.
I
There's a
couldn't
draw.
say that word. It's
there's a cart.
2:43 in the morning.
There's a cat in a Disney old school cartoon that he looks just like a smug little cat. I go, we've done that.
Sitting
we did that
at
the other day.
6 over
You know
for
what I
the
mean?
round.
Look, he definitely looks like.
I'll piss on that ball. Like he doesn't.
Okay,
give a
this is the
fuck about
4th
you.
hole.
That's kind of crazy to say because he's like the nicest
I
guy
know
in
he
the
is.
world.
It's just like his smug little cat face. He does have a smug little cat face.
I can't disagree with you.
You can't.
Yeah, odds are.
I don't think he doesn't have a cat face.
I think
I'll
he
say that.
absolutely has a cat face.
Look, he's #1 ranked player in the world.
Great bet.
His last 4 Masters finishes tied for second,
gonna
tied
have to
for
hit
10th,
something.
second, tied for 12th. People forget, and I've mentioned it on this show before, that if you go rewatch when Sergio won the Masters in 2017, it is incomprehensible as you're watching the beginning of that back nine that somehow Justin Rose wouldn't win the Masters.
Right.
I mean, Sergio's up in the damn trees on 10. They go through the first part of Amen Corner, fine, but then they get to 13.
Okay,
Sergio
so that'll keep you
hooks
at
one
6
left on
over for the
13,
round.
then tries to play out of the trees left of Rays Creek on 13 ends
coming
up
off
hitting
a
it in the
par
creek,
on the
takes
last
a
one.
drop,
Let's see what happens
chips
here.
out, ends up somehow getting up and down for par on 13, and then Rose misses like a good birdie putt on 13. And then next thing you know, Sergio eagles 15, and somehow they go into the playoff, and he wins the Masters. So if you look back at that, Justin Rose definitely could have won the Masters at that point. And based on those finishes that I just said, tied for second, tied for 12th, second, tied for second, tied for 10th, second, tied for 12th. He's right there, and he's the number one ranked player in the world. John Rahm, remember him last year? Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the mix at this thing, and he had a players type episode where he started to go a little sideways on him. He started to prove that he was kind of a psychopath.
Oh, yeah.
We were out in front of that.
Oh, yeah, Rom.
We
know who you are.
That was ours. That's ours. Remember,
That's
the
our
John
little
Rahm
thing that
temper
we-
tantrum. That's
This
ours.
little thing that we came up with in this little studio here.
That's ours.
We cooked that up. We cooked that up a little gas.
But yeah, he did.
No, we invented that.
He did. He had a little.
Someone
freak
came
out.
up to me that yesterday, like at Cowboy Jack's, like, love the way you guys outed John Rahm for being a crazy person. I'm like, that's right, boy.
That's right. That's
right.
ours.
They said that?
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Were they mocking you or no?
No, because then he invited me to like Colonial. Did that guy come up to you and invite you? He gave me a card. He's like, come to Colonial anytime. Like, I'll be there tomorrow.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know about that. Got a lot of invites out to Hazeltine. I actually really wanted to play Hazeltine while we were out in Minneapolis, but
I think it was
it's
closed.
closed.
Can I give you my sleeper pick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you came in with a sleeper pick?
I came in with this. I mean, I don't know how much of a sleeper pick it is. 25 to 1 shot.
All right. So I don't think that's.
His name is Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay.
It's not really much of a sleeper pick, but
No, I wouldn't
not
call
many
it.
people are talking about him. You know, and last year he finished T17, but recently he's been playing good golf. Like, he finished T3 at Arnold Palmer and then T5 at the Players. He didn't really do that great at the WGC, but, you know, T3 and T5 back-to-back in 2 massive tournaments. And now coming into somewhere where he didn't play that bad. He was 4 under last year. Posted 66 on Saturday. Like, he can play
Sitting
this
at
course
9
pretty
over
well.
for this round.
And Tommy
now.
Fleetwood fucks.
Tommy Fleetwood fucks.
Like, if you're going to put money on someone that's 25 to 1, you might as well put money on a guy that fucks. Because you know he's staying loose all weekend.
Look, I think that's a great choice. I guess some people might bust your balls for calling it sleeper, but then again, I wouldn't because nobody's talking about
Not
Tommy
one
Fleetwood.
person's talking about Tommy
Not
Fleetwood.
at all. He's not going to get any press.
Like,
Maybe
if you want to
it's-
talk sleeper, like, yeah, once you get to like the 100 to 1, like Keegan Bradley.
Cameron
100
Smith.
Keegan Bradley, like sometimes that guy's just always in the fucking mix.
Yeah.
He does have those tournaments where it's like, oh shit.
Keegan Bradley, 100 to 1. Throw $1 on the guy.
Yeah, for real. That
Throw $10 on
100
Keegan.
to 1 seems a little, you know. Come on.
I don't hate $1 on Keegs. I'll go $1 on Keegs.
125 to 1. I'll throw $10 on Keegs right now.
It's good value.
It's a very good opportunity.
VJ Singh, 500 to 1.
What a story that would be.
This is a very good opportunity for us, gentlemen. He was, what was it, the Honda Classic? He was in like the final group.
Imagine he wins.
Yeah.
Was that the Honda? Or was that Bay Hill? I can't remember. One of
All
those.
right, don't
Florida
worry about
Swim.
it. I
He was
mean,
in- he was in
everybody
the final
does
group.
it.
I think it was Honda Classic.
Let's give it another hack.
Fuck,
And,
fuck.
yeah, we'll take it from there.
Never mind.
What were you going to say?
I was gonna say whatever you
VJ say.
Yeah, whatever you say, but it was VJ.
Yeah, you're reaching.
Yeah, it was a reach.
248.
248.17.
I don't hate that you're reaching right now. This is a great time for us to mention that FanDuel, our good friends at FanDuel,
Oh yeah.
they are running their biggest golf contest ever. Okay, ever. It's a $1 million total prize pool. This is how it works. $15 entry. You can enter up to 150 times. First place gets $200,000.
Sitting at
This is where it gets
10
really good,
over.
gentlemen. If
for the
Tiger
round.
Woods wins the Masters, you get your money back for every entry, whether you have Tiger on your team or not.
I
Wow.
love it. They're going all in on that.
What a great contest to run.
Yeah, that's like it.
You have to join them because you're all basically rooting for Tiger.
That's like if you those furniture places are like, yeah, if like the Red Sox win the World Series, we'll give everybody like a free couch,
Amazing.
and then they just hope to God they don't win the World Series. So
Mom
this-
and pop furniture company calls all the employees like, unfortunately, we're out of business.
Yeah.
You know, the Red Sox just couldn't fucking lose. Those damn socks.
Our good friends at FanDuel, here's what you do. You go sign up and play at FanDuel.com/4play, okay? FanDuel, that's FanDuel.com/4play.
Almost on the green
FanDuel.com/4play.
here. Let's get out of
$15
the rough and start
entry. It's
putting.
their biggest golf contest ever. $1 million total prize pool. First place gets $200,000. And if Tiger Woods wins the Masters, You get your money back for every entry, whether you pick him on your team or not. I don't know what they're thinking over at FanDuel. I think that doesn't even make any sense.
If you're going to bet on the Masters and you're going to join a FanDuel, tournament, you have to join this one because just in case Tiger
Sitting
Woods
at
wins,
11
you're going
over
to be
for the
gassed up about
round.
that, number one. Number two, you want to be a part of something in which Tiger Woods wins. Number three, you get your money back
This
even if you
is
don't
the
pick him.
8th hole. Let's
It's
see
pretty nice.
what you
so
can do.
we were, again, on the Uber back, we were kind of going through, we're looking at the roster. These FanDuel, the David Fantasy stuff, the FanDuel, it's incredibly fun to do. You get 6 spots. You get a $60,000 budget salary, and you go through. Our guy, now we're kind of looking at different players, trying to figure out good value. There's always a lot of different ways to play these types of things. That's what makes it fun. It's like you're trying to pick I want to pick the guy that nobody else is going to pick. So
Heading
we each
for
went
the
through.
green
We kind of picked
here.
out a guy that we like. I picked Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson's at $10,200 pick. The reason I like him is because Bubba Watson has won the Masters twice, and I feel like nobody's going to take Bubba Watson. Number one, they don't like him, and number two, he just gets passed up. People just pass Bubba Watson.
Right.
They just don't think about
10
Bubba Watson.
over
He's a
for the
lefty.
round.
He's dominated at Augusta when you consider the numbers of how many lefties there are out there. Ever since Mike Weir won, Phil's won 3 times, Bubba's
Okay,
won
here
3.
we go.
Lefties dominated out there. Bubba won a couple times on tour last year. I think he won like 3 times on tour last year. So it's not like he's that far off. My guy, $10,000 or $10,200 salary hit. Bubba Watson. Trent Daddy?
Zach Johnson.
Why?
He just seems like a good guy. He's from a great place.
Great upbringing.
He's won here. Yeah, great upbringing. He's won there before. Back in 2007, I watched my Uncle Jack cry when he
Your
won.
Uncle Jack cried?
Yeah, he cried when Zach won the Masters, which was a very emotional time for our family. It's $9,000. Seems like a good bet. And like we talked about a little bit earlier, if Zach Johnson's in the mix at Augusta, then so is Kevin Kisner, and that's all good.
So another thing I'm obsessed with on the FanDuel app is their stats are just off the charts when you click on these guys. And I just clicked on Kiz, and it's a nice throwback to, you can just click on game log, and it's such a nice throwback to all his finishes. T24, T22, T23, T27, T28, T26, and then there's a first.
It just felt good to be alive during that streak. I'll be
so
bouncing my
good.
grandkids on my knee telling them about that streak. No doubt about
The
it.
stats on this thing are awesome. Look
I
at
didn't
that.
realize you could do that. You can't just click on
It's
it.
really, really cool. Frankie, who's your guy?
I'm going Phil Mickelson.
Wow.
10,500. I mean, how can you not pick Phil at Augusta?
And Phil won at Pebble earlier.
That's right. So Phil's like playing good golf. He's mixing it up on Twitter with us. Like he's going crazy. He's getting good stories. Phil's just like in my brain. Phil has incepted my brain, and I wouldn't be surprised if Phil's just been in the mix, like on and off the golf course. Like I just wouldn't be surprised if he's putting on the green jacket.
All right.
Phil is a guy
11
who,
over
when
par
there's
for
good
you
stories
today.
about him out there, he plays better.
Okay.
I actually
I am
just messed
I'm gonna
around
head on
and
over
I
to
like
the
put together
clubhouse.
an unbelievable
We'll see you next time.
lineup.
Did
I
you?
filled the whole thing out perfectly. All money used.
You want to give away some of your picks?
I'll give away my whole thing.
Give it to
Or is
us.
that not smart?
No, do it.
Yeah, do it.
Dustin Johnson.
Pretty good.
Now, this is all within, like, they're allowing me to pick this, which I actually think is, like, unfair. I'm absolutely joining this.
And if Tiger wins,
Right.
Get your money
This
back.
So,
is free.
Dustin Johnson, Tiger Woods, because I can't not pick Tiger